Okay, Art 195, here's how to get what is due for the 18th of March turned in. So you had a process check and a Chapter 4 assignment. So for Chapter 4, you completed a PSD file, and then I wanted a JPEG as well. I'm just going to have you do the JPEG for now. And then for the final process check on the Celeb AI, normally I look at those in person. I'm going to show you a couple different ways to capture that image so that you can upload them to me. So to get all this turned in, first thing is you need to capture a JPEG or a PNG of your Celebrity AI file. So I'll show you a couple different ways you can do that. One is you can simply get it good and large in the computer, and then if you're on a Mac, you can do a screen capture by doing Command, Shift, and the number 4. So that's the Command key, the Shift key, and the number 4. And when you do that, you get these little crosshairs, and then you just click and drag in the area that you click and drag. And if I'm quiet here, you'll hear it makes that sound like a camera, and then it throws that image that it made onto your desktop. So you need to have a clean desktop, not like this one, because it would take me a while to find it on the desktop itself. So what you can do is instead you can go to Finder, and you can go on Finder, you can go to Go, and then tell it to go to your desktop. And then luckily this way you can go to date modified, and there is the screenshot that I took. And if I'm not sure that that's it, I can double click on it and look at in preview. And then maybe what I want to do to be sure, to make it easy to send in, is now go ahead and rename this so it's easy to find. So that's one way to do it. Here comes another. In Illustrator, you can simply do an export of what's ever on your artboard. So if I click on the artboard tool, I see that this is the artboard, and that's exactly what will be exported. Now I do have two artboards, so if you do, you kind of have to pay attention to that. But it's pretty simple. You just go File, Export, Export As, and then here you would select either PNG or a JPEG. If you want to change the format, you just do that down here. And then I'm not going to be picky for a process check about much more than what I'm showing you right now, is to just pick the format, click Use Artboards, and name it. But just know that when you click Export, it'll take you to another window, and then typically I recommend going to RGB if you're just going to view it on screen, and the quality size, go all the way to maximum. And then for the resolution, since this is just a process check, do go with screen resolution, which is 72 pixels per inch. And then you just click OK. And if you selected a ping, you get a slightly different menu here, but again, just selecting a resolution of 72 pixels per inch is perfect. And then that'll go ahead and save into whatever file or folder you selected during that process. And then once you're sure you have those files, and in this case it's basically the two files, the one for Chapter 4 and the one for the Celebrity AI, then you will go into the discussion, and you will simply post inside of there your name as it appears on my modified roll sheet. So if you go by something different for your first name, please use that, because that's how I see you on my roll sheet now. And then attach your files. So let me just kind of show you what you'll see when you do that. You'll go over here and you should see discussions, and then you should see something like this. So we want the discussion for week number 6. And then when you click on that, you'll see the instructions for the discussion again, which we just went over. And then you should see a button here that allows you to post your discussion for that week. And your discussion, like I said, will just contain your name and then these files. And as you do that, you should see a button for uploading files. Now, if you can't figure any of this out, that's what email's for. So you email me, email another student, and one way or another, we will get this figured out. And like I said, that don't wait till the last minute. Get it done. If you can't figure out how to get it done, ask questions. So that'll get us where we need to be for the next class that was supposed to meet on the, just go back to announcements here. The next class was going to meet on the 18th. And then around the time that the class would normally start, 2:30, I will send out an email, and I will post inside of this announcement a video that helps explain how to turn in and go over anything that relates to the following class. Final notes for ART 195, just want to say that since we're already a hybrid class, this shouldn't be too difficult for you to all get this done. Keep in mind the library will remain open, where you'll have access to the 8 iMacs with the Adobe software on them, and we already went over how you turn in the work. Okay, for GD 150, you're already in a hybrid class, which means this won't be too tough for us to transition to remote learning. The library will remain open. The library has 2 iMacs with the Adobe software. There will also be computer labs held on campus, but the best news for us is that students will soon be able to access the Adobe software off campus. So if you have a computer that you have access to, you'll be in really good shape, because you get to download the Adobe software and use it through the remainder of this remote instruction. You will turn in this week's work and any late work on a discussion post in Canvas. So let me show you that. All right, so our process check for this week is to have working buttons and all transitions through shape tweening. And to turn that in remotely, here's what you'll do. You will get to the discussion for this class, meaning this date. I'll update that so it looks a little cleaner. Make a post that contains your name and the Swift files. So here's what you do. You'll find the tab for discussion over here. When you click on that, hold on one second. Okay, when you click on discussion, it'll take you into another page, and somewhere in there, after a while there'll be a lot of discussions in there, but as of right now there's just one. It says for the week of 23rd March 2020. You will go in here. You will see it's very simple instructions. You have until 5 p.m. to complete this, so you basically have all the way through the time our class normally met. And then you should see a button down here for you to add your post. And then you simply go in, you'll see tools up here on the post. It'll allow you to upload a file, which in this case would be the Swift. And then, like I said, the only other thing you need to do is just type your name in there, your full name, the way you like to be called. And that should get us through our first week of remote instruction. And then by the second week, I will have a post waiting for you by about the time class begins that has the new instructions for the week, and also a video embedded inside of it. GD 240 and ART 240. The library will remain open. The library has 2 iMacs with the Adobe software. The computer labs will still be held on campus, the ones that were already scheduled. But the best news is that soon, now maybe another week or two, but students will have access to the Adobe software off campus. So that'll remain during the time that we meet remotely like this. The good thing is most of you are more advanced students taking a 200 level class, so you pick stuff up quicker, and this shouldn't be too tough for you to transition to a remote class. You'll turn in this week's work and any late work on the discussion post inside a Canvas. And if you're wondering about the midterm, That will be the submission to Dr. Scaff on the 30th for the student handbook cover. And congratulations to Sarah Green on the plant sale poster, but hold off on printing because the date will most likely change again due to this coronavirus. Let me just show you inside of Canvas everything that was due for our first meeting after spring break. March 23rd will remain the same. The big thing will just be the way that you turn these projects in. So we will use a discussion post. That way you can post the work and then I can give you my feedback on the discussion post. In the future, we'll set up the discussion post so that you can give feedback to probably set it up so that you have to give feedback to 2 other students. But since this is our first week back and you guys are trying to chill on spring break, we're going to step into this fairly lightly. I mean, you still have quite a few things here that you had to get done for this week anyhow. So here's what you're going to do to turn these projects in, and I'll give you till the end of the day on March 23rd to turn them in rather than just like a certain time in class. Do the following. Go to the discussion titled 23 March 2020, and then I'll show you that in just a second, and then upload, attach an AI and a JPEG per the video instructions for the plant sale. So that takes care of this item right here that was due. And then you will attach a JPEG for the contest and the student handbook cover, and just make those actual size at 72 pixels per inch. That'll be perfect for an online post, and then I will give you my feedback. And then by Monday the 23rd at 5 p.m. I will email you with the new video of instruction for the upcoming week and how to upload the files that will be due for that upcoming week. Okay, let's look at. So to get to the discussion, you typically should just have to click on discussion over here. And then if you cruise through here, you should see the newest discussion post, which maybe I haven't made it yet. Okay, there we go. So it'll look something like this. You'll see the discussion here. You'll click on it. It'll take you into the discussion. And then right now you don't see it, but on my view, you don't see it. But on your view, what you should see is some type of a button that allows you to make a post to this discussion. And then in the future, when we reply to people's discussions, we would click this button and you could say like, hey, I like your work, or this per Steve's request for feedback, here is my feedback. All right, so that should get us through this first week of transition, and I will be talking at you soon through another video and posting more instruction, like I said, for the following week on the 23rd of March.